Hello and welcome to the AV Net, where we're nuts about AV. And today I'm not just gonna show you this little Phillips radio. I'm gonna show you two of them. They're looking at each other right now. So this needs a bit of explanation. So the story with these two radios is we bought one of these radios. This case and the internals in it, I'll explain why now. Because my father wanted a radio in our kitchen. Now, he didn't want one in his kitchen, but he saw this radio, he thought it was nice, and he just decided to put it in the kitchen, and he used it for a long time. Year or two, working fine, listening to LM radio. Then it started smoking, something popped, and it stopped working. So what ended up happening was, when we took it apart, one of the capacitors or resistors or something blown. I'll show you what it is now. I'm not sure what it is, because it looks so different from what the current standard for it is. So yeah. Then we took it apart, we couldn't get it working, we tried finding the component, then we lost the little pieces of the component with the values on it, so we lost that. And yeah, then recently, maybe 2 months ago, we went to an antique fair and we found this case with this internal, this one. Now this one, it's in a bit worse shape. As you can at least see, the Phillips logo is gone. There's cracks here, both sides of this logo. This is a bit more worn, the knobs are a bit more worn, and the back is a bit more water damaged. But that, we got it for free because the guy couldn't get it working, and he just said, take it. Hey, because he wanted to keep it for himself, to hire someone to get it working. But he said, just take it. It's going to be it's not going to be worth much not working. And if I can't get it fixed, then what am I going to do? I'll just buy a decent working one, and then I'll use it. So he gave this to us. And then that afternoon we tried getting it working, and it worked better than this one, but it wasn't really working. Then this past weekend I got it working, and I swapped the internals. What I did was I took the internals that were working out of this one that had a bit of a broken case, and transplanted it, just put it in this one because it's more or less the same. Some revisions were made to the components between the two, but I just put it in here, and then I just soldered the speaker wires onto the speaker, and yeah, simple. Basically the same components, it's just bit revised, so there's new components. There were also 2 tubes missing from the one that we got from him, which explains why it wasn't working. I just transplanted the ones from the non-working one into that, and it's working fine. So let me just take this back, and then I'll show you around this one. So this is one of the few episodes that I'm going to take something apart to show you too, but because it just takes a couple of screws to unscrew this back panel, and I'm trying to pan out the time because that's exactly the most interesting thing. These are the things that blew. I think it's a resistor, from what I can tell. I'm not an expert in 1950s technology, so yeah. But anyway, then there's one that was blown. It's the same one that was missing from the other one. And the problem with it was, this plastic was cracked and it came off. So I wrapped it in insulation tape and then hot glued it to cover it. Hopefully that holds. Working currently, so I'll demonstrate it to you while it's working. But there's some 1950s technology. There's the tubes that were missing, these two. And then yeah, there's a speaker. It's a mono speaker. They give you a tube diagram, tell you what tubes are needed, and yeah, basically that. So let me put it back together quickly. Now, as is the norm with these self-contained videos, there's not going to be any lines ins and outs because, well, there's no line out, no speaker output. But I'll demonstrate it to you. First, let me show you the plug that was on this thing. So, this is a good old English made General Electric plug. Yeah, made out of the same material as the case, at least it matches. I think it's Bakelite. Not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. That other one cracked like it was Bakelite. So plug this in, put the thing in, and okay, there we go. So now that it's plugged in, I would like to just demonstrate, or not demonstrate, but show you. On the back here, there is your aerial connectors for your shortwave radio. There is the grounding for the phono preamp right there, and then there's the two connectors for the preamp. You can actually use this as a preamp. So if we turn it around, see, that's OP player. So if we turn it around and we go to the band selector, we can see here that it picks up shortwave 1. If we go fully to the right, where the dot is, corresponds to that dot. Shortwave 2 is there, medium wave is there, and then phono is there. Now, you are seeing things correct. There is no FM, which means that this is basically useless where I stay, because LM radio is shifting to FM, so they aren't going to broadcasting on FM or AM, or at least maybe they're staying on AM, but they aren't broadcasting currently. They've been broadcasting for a couple of months now. Which is weird. They still have the advertisements on the show about on AM at 702 medium wave and what FM in Maputo. But anyway, so we're getting 2 radio stations on this, I can tell you already. You've got a high and low tone selector. It's high, that's low. You've got a volume dial which functions as an on-off switch, tuning indicator, which is a bit weird because if we look at it, usually it goes from smallest to biggest, but on here it goes from smallest to biggest this way, which is a bit weird for me. But on shortwave it goes opposite, so I don't understand that. We're on AM currently. There's nothing on shortwave in South Africa, so you're not picking anything up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that tuning indicator and move it to the end. There we go. And now we're going to turn it on. You should see the little light turn on, which would illuminate it if it was dark, which you can see it's illuminating slightly. There you can see it better. It just illuminates it in at night time. It's a singular bulb and it's quite small, but it gets the job done. So now we actually need to wait for the tubes to warm up, as is the case with every single tube radio in existence. So now we can see that one's warming up. Now we wait for the rest. There, that one's starting. There's 4 tubes that I can see in the back of this, and once all of those are warmed up, then it's more or less ready to play the radio, but still waiting for these two. Seeing a inkling of light coming out of that one. Now we wait though. Okay, there we go. You can hear the noises of AM, the familiar noises. As you saw, there was a single mono speaker, so Yeah, but anyway, gonna turn up the volume, put it on low tone, why not? Actually, I prefer higher tone, so put it on high tone, and we tune it.
That's beautiful, isn't it? When the righteousness of Jesus has been reckoned to me by God, then I'm righteous not with my own righteousness, but with... And bear in mind, the righteousness of Jesus never knew sin. It never knew guilt. The only reason that he paid the penalty was that he paid it on our behalf, but he had no penalty to pay for himself. So think in terms of being justified. Say to yourself, I'm justified.
Keep in mind they're both gospel stations. I think the next one's radio console. Actually, no, I'm not picking up a second station.
Great basis.
I think the reason is because the lights, there's getting electrical interference from...
Speaking on behalf of...
Yeah. So I can't even demonstrate this radio to you. And the reason being... it's getting electrical interference from the power that's going through this place. From all of those cables and stuff. The problem being, I cannot turn that off because this runs off raw power, 220 volts, and then it wouldn't have power, but it would be able to pick up things. See, the thing is, this thing's from the 50s or the 60s, or maybe the 40s even, so it's not exactly made for the amount of electrical interference that it's getting. But, well, that was the Phillips little AM radio. A radio that's picking up a dead frequency band, at least where I live, and will probably get used again once something starts up on AM that I actually would like to listen to. But until then, it's dead. It's gonna sit on a table, never being used, until that fateful day when something starts up on AM. It's a sad story, but not too uncommon for these radios. At least it's not shortwave only, then it would be completely dead. If it was shortwave only, well, eesh. But anyway, as we in the business say, what we've got a saying. That saying is, stay safe, stay home, don't stare beautiful.